Nick's gonna be like, RJ, what happened? I can't see your kids' toys anymore.
Oh no.
He is. So I don't know if he shared with you, but he just got a new desk and everything and changed up his scenery. But before, you would see behind him all of his son's toys.
Yeah.
I did notice. Yeah.
I got it last night.
That's awesome. Yeah, I watched some of your previous episodes to try to get a vibe of you guys and a feel for the show.
Super chill. Like
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with, obviously, refrain from like the F word or any derogatory terms, but shit.
I noticed that too.
Like,
try to keep it so you can listen with your family and not have to be like, oh, they're not really like that, or don't say that word.
Earmuffs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, damn is fine.
Gotcha.
That really shouldn't even be a swear word.
I know, right?
But yeah, you know what words not to use.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Check 2, RJ. Okay. 10% battery. I did not charge my phone last night.
Oh,
you and your sister.
That's a crisis.
We're home all day, and she's like, my battery's at 7%. And I'm like, you've been home all day with me. You have a cord next to you that reaches all the way across the couch.
We got commercials.
Yeah.
We got ads on our stream now. Sweet.
That is.
So.
Sound good?
Yeah, sound is good.
Long commercial.
Right?
No.
I think mine was 30 seconds too, so that's different. All right, everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay. Mons, you ready?
All right. Yep. I just checked the sound. We're good to go.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you for tapping into some Untapped Keg. I am one of your hosts, RJ Zimmerman, here with my good friend, Monte Ball.
What is going on, man? What's going on? How you doing?
And I'm great. I'm really excited. You're really excited because we are joined by Carrie. Nice
everybody.
to see you. Woo! Welcome.
Thank you.
Got our applause track going.
Thank you.
That is our
Yeah.
Carrie, how you doing?
I'm really good. Thanks. How are you?
Good. So to our listeners, Carrie reached out to us, shared a little bit about her story via social media with us, and we thought it would be a wonderful idea to bring her on so everybody can kind of hear who Carrie is and learn more about her story. So we're excited. We're really, really excited to have you here, and we're most definitely grateful as well, too. You're grateful.
Absolutely. I'm grateful to you both as well, because I'd really love to put a movie together of my life. I laid it out in a podcast I was on a couple weeks ago. I won't get into too much again. If anybody wants to know, they can go back to that. But I want to write a movie and maybe call it Carried Away, because I've been carried away in my life in many different ways.
I like that.
Well, that's your Twitter handle too. So which I really do like. And
thank you.
Yeah, that's a good.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
Go ahead,
thank you.
Oh, all right. So let's start with this. What would you like our listeners to know about you?
Yeah. So who is Carrie?
Yeah.
I'm somebody who has had PTSD my entire life. I had a traumatic birth to start it all. So I didn't even realize I was post-traumatic until I was 40. 41 maybe. Yeah. Just because, I've operated in a state of chaos my whole life. And like I was incubated for a couple of days because I was jaundiced as a baby. So I didn't get that bonding time with mom.
Yep.
So I just been operating chaos my whole life. So then as these crazy things happened, it was just something else that happened, So then finally I had some kind of a nervous breakdown 4 years ago. And it was when I had quit drinking and I come to the realization that I need to be done drinking.
Mm.
That's when I had like a nervous breakdown because drinking was my go-to for dealing with this all. So then I had alcohol poisoning in 2016.
Oh no.
And so that really made me
That's
face up.
scary.
I still have some intestinal problems even. Alcohol is a drug. And I've lost 2 friends in the last 3 years who drank themselves to death. And so that could have been me easily.
Wow.
So
I got a question for you, Carrie, if I
sure.
may. So let's kind of let's start out with um, what kind of led you down that path that you no longer want to associate yourself with? What was that deciding factor to lead you down the path of
To not drink.
of using, or when you were
Mm.
using alcohol and all of that stuff?
Mhm. So I had my, so like I said, I had a lot of chaotic things happen the first 25 years of my life. And then I got with the man who's now my husband, and he gave me stability. Like we lived in the same place and he had a solid job. And then I was able to get a job that I held and I loved it, and it was a stable life and I was able to feel myself healing. But then my husband found out that his plant was going to close, the place where he worked. It's a international company, so there's locations other places. So we eventually moved. But yeah, when the plant initially closed, that shattered all of my stability. And that's when I started binging. And I didn't stop for almost 8 years.
See, I love that. For one, I love your honesty already off the bat, and we're only about 5 minutes in, um, because it's a lot about what RJ speaks about and myself. Is that identity that you just mentioned? That once you lose that one thing that you're so familiar with doing every single day, that schedule, you kind of marry your self esteem with it, um, identity, all of the above, and then once it's gone, it's sort of a crisis. No, it is a crisis actually. So yeah, share a little bit more if you would like about how that was, that instability that came about.
Yeah, I had 2 jobs that I love. One was it was actually called a little bistro. It was a little restaurant. And I was a server there for some lunch shifts. And she really counted on me to be like her head server, because she's actually younger than me. My boss was. So, she really leaned on me to train the rest of her staff and to keep the front of the house running smooth. And then I had another job. Shout out to the Rock Bar and Grill in Beloit, Wisconsin, Jim Agati and Bill Locke, my bosses I love. But so I worked there for 2 years and I was basically like the assistant bar manager. Like I made the Bloody Mary mix and I did a lot of prep. But then I also was a server on the floor. Like I worked on Friday nights. I was the closing Friday night server. You guys know Friday Fish Fry,
Yep.
Yep. Oh
so
yeah.
yep. And there's no Friday Fish Fry where I live. It's like just a Wisconsin thing. I swear to God.
It is. It is just a Wisconsin thing. Anywhere you go,
Moving
you
here,
can't get it.
it was such a culture shock. Such a culture shock to move here in a lot of ways. Like I go to the gas station and I'm like, there's water, there's milk, there's juice, there's energy drinks. Where's the beer?
Mm,
There's no cold beer at the gas station,
right.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of things. But yeah, so I had my identity, as being a key person at 2 different places. And then, yeah, I had a 6-month notice to give them that I was moving here. Oh my goodness. I should have just moved here when my husband did because we did 5 months of
Oh wow.
dual.
That's hard.
Oh
That's
my
really
God.
hard.
Oh my God. So I was all by myself Sunday to Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday he was there. Oh my goodness. I did so much drinking. I didn't make any obviously drinking and driving is a bad decision, but I wasn't doing like other crazy things or anything that my husband wouldn't approve of. But yeah, I was just drinking. Don't remember driving home. I can't tell
Mhm.
you how many times I don't remember driving home.
Oh yeah.
So then I moved here and trying to find a spot like that again. And yeah, didn't happen. So then I had 5 different jobs here in the first 6 years I was here, and I lost all 5 of them because of my drink.
Mm. Really, that's sorry. Go ahead, RJ.
I was gonna say that's really tough because, I mean, the forces really outside of your control kind of upended how stable you were in your life, and creates these forces that lead you to the bottle a little bit more. And I mean, in Wisconsin, let's be honest, it's not really that looked down
Right, it's
upon.
not-
You're just like, oh,
Right.
yeah, you enjoy your alcohol. That's awesome. Like,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
what it is. But you go other places, and now you're a little bit of an outcast. I mean, you got to try to fit in. You don't really know anybody.
Exactly.
Trying to make new.
Exactly.
That's really hard. That's really
Mhm.
nerve wracking.
And then the first 3 years we lived in a tiny little apartment. So now
that would be. That's a change. That's a very big change.
Mhm. Yeah, now we have a big beautiful house. Like, oh my God, I couldn't even have this house in Wisconsin. But
Okay, so you obviously that instability came about, and that was a
Yes.
practice in itself, and
Yes.
and led you down that monstrous
Mhm.
rabbit hole of alcohol. And so our question to you is, what got you out of that? What brought you back out of that rabbit hole? What was the deciding factor for, what, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live this way anymore. Where did
I
that
had
taste come from?
I had an alcohol poisoning. Oh my God, I binged so hard this one particular weekend. Like, I had a pool party till like 7 o'clock in the morning. And one of my girls here, she left at like 3:30 in the morning, and she said she was afraid for my life because like that's how binged I was. So yeah, and I still went to work. And then that night I had another pool party. But then the next day, Sunday fun day, it wasn't fun because I had stomach ache like bad, bad. Like it was hangover from hell. And it lasted 3, 4 days. So then my husband's like, I'm taking you to the emergency room. And I found out, yeah, I got intestinal, whatever. Yeah. TMI. No, but yeah. And I still have some issues I need to follow up on, but I'm getting my mental health right first. Then I can tackle the physical. But
I like
but
that.
then thank you. And my doctor, I have a new doctor, and that's totally where he's at. Like, he's not pushing me to fix the physical until I get my mental right.
That's
I
awesome.
like
But
that.
That's good.
I like that.
So,
Oh, please go ahead.
well, actually, if you want to have a question on what I'm talking about right now, because I'm going to go on something else next.
Oh, you, yeah. This is
Okay.
the floor is yours.
So I made the decision I need to not drink anymore. But then I had a really good friend of mine who was actually killed by police. They served a welfare check and beat him to death in handcuffs. So I allowed myself, yeah, that first month. I'm talking, it was the same week when I had my alcohol poisoning and I found this out. So then I had 3 instances of drinking in that first month. But then my husband got mad at me one time. When he gets mad, he don't like trip out like my ex. He's a master of the silent treatment. And I can just feel all the words he wants to say. And that's just as bad as if he were to come out and say everything negative that one could say.
Mm.
So I just felt it. And I'm just like, I need to, no. And since then, I only had 1 relapse. And that, well, actually, all of the times you guys were talking about before, and I totally feel this, you got to be 100% all in.
Yeah.
You got to be. Because what happened to me, the last relapse that I had, it was 4th of July. And so I'm just like, oh, maybe I could have a couple little shots, And then I was fine. But then a couple days later, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
And then my husband, I thought I quit in time for my husband to get home from work, but I didn't.
Oh no.
So then I got more, silent treatment. And that was my last time.
No, it's such a good point.
So,
It's I think the important message right there is you got to be honest with yourself, and you have to. Alcohol was all three of our choice of drug, and you cannot have a little bit of it. Can't have a
that's right.
taste. You can't.
Somebody asked me, I have a new friend. A couple days ago, we were chatting online, and they were talking about, a little shot, a little beer, and I'm just like, no, no, I cannot.
Yeah. I get that at work where the guys are like, come on, you can have one with us. You won't get just absolutely blasted. Like, we'll make sure. I'm like, no, you guys don't understand, because I will go back to my hotel room and you guys will think that I'm done. I will go out the side door, go across to the gas station, get myself a 30 pack,
I'm gonna get some more.
not a 12 pack, a 30 pack, and I'll be up all night drinking. And then I got to drive this big truck. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm not doing it.
No,
I'm not putting myself in that situation. I'm sorry, but I know you guys think that that's the only way I can be fun, but no, that's not.
Right.
That's
I know people.
That's another topic, RJ. Great segue. So, Carrie, once you hopped on this journey of recovery,
Yes.
did you lose some friends? Some quote friends?
Kind of, but actually not really.
Okay.
Because I had pretty much hermetized myself already anyway. People weren't coming to me. I was meeting them at the bar. So, I still have my girl, I can't really say my best friend, because my real best friend back home will get salty.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but shout out Osteo Family Restaurant in northern Wisconsin. My best friend, Tani Shabani, he's also on the sober journey, like 5 years now, I think.
Oh, wow.
What's that restaurant? RJ and I will have to check it out.
Osteo Family Restaurant.
Oh,
it's just south of Eau Claire.
In Osseo, Wisconsin?
Yes, it's at the truck stop.
Okay. I think I've been through there.
Exit 88, yeah. Highway 10.
Yeah,
he's been sober
I'm pretty sure
5 years.
Been
by there.
Yeah. Yep.
Somebody stole the big rooster.
How do
Did
you
see
steal
the big
that
rooster?
big rooster? How do you take that? How do you steal it? How do you just nobody sees what's going on? I don't get it.
Honestly, when you're drunk or on drugs,
right?
It seems like you do some wild.
Yeah, this gonna be fun. Yeah, but yeah. So my best friend Tani back home, he's been sober, like I said, 5 years. So he gets salty when I refer to Jessica here as my best friend. But yeah, so she drinks. She's pretty responsible about it.
Yeah,
as responsible as one can be. But yeah, so yeah, she's still my girl. She still comes, hangs out at the pool all the time. And yeah, so no, I didn't really lose. But then, like I said, it's not like I was working either. So yeah,
absolutely.
Hermit life.
I want to hear your thoughts on, for RJ and I want to know this, and our listeners as well. Because again, we talk about, people make mistakes. That's how you grow.
Yeah.
That's how you grow. I mean, don't judge people for mistakes, because that's how everyone grows. And so obviously if you learn from those mistakes. So our question to you is, once you hopped on this recovery journey, once you decided that alcohol cannot go with you, with your future, into your future, with you into your future. So what have you gained? What have you gained since then? How much more do you think, or you feel as if you gained from putting down the bottle?
Authenticity.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big thing, Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, because I myself am more authentic. I'm not drunk half the time or whatever. I'm not waking up in a fog, or I'm 100% me all the time now.
Yep.
And you touched on losing friends or not. Well, now I know all my friends are authentic.
And that's huge. That is huge when you know that they're all in for you, and they're not just all in for you.
The
what
party.
you do at the bar. Yep.
Yeah.
For the circus.
Yeah. Yes.
RJ,
Not my circus, not my monkey.
RJ and I share that a lot. And RJ, I love for you to chime in on that, man. I know I love when you share that about how, it's kind of as if you were putting on a clown suit every time.
Yeah, I was the sideshow. Like,
I bet I could see that.
My 5th or 6th year, I think it was my 5th year at college. I took a year off in between there, but like if I wouldn't go out drinking with the guys, they got mad at me. Like, why aren't you going? It's like, I don't want to this weekend. And then they just wanted to go out and watch how I interacted with people because they didn't want to interact with people, but I was just like happy-go-lucky, wanted everybody to love me most of the time, and that's what they like to see. So, but I didn't like myself when I woke up in the morning. I didn't like myself looking in the mirror, on a random Tuesday, afternoon or night, even though, Tuesday dollar bottles, you got to go out and get some. Talk them out.
My friend just learned about Thirsty Thursday the other day.
Yeah, $5 Long Islands. I mean, we used to go out. I still remember all the deals like from back in school.
Yep.
That's what it always was.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
but
no, sorry, go ahead.
One other thing though, what really got me committed to being sober though is my cat, because like people, if something were to happen to me, people could move on, but my cat, they, we have this thing, and I couldn't, like, I had a little breakdown, and and so now, I just have all my time with my cats now, and I felt so guilty about being gone from them, either physically or mentally, because I wasted half their life.
But I think it's good though that you recognize it. I think that's a huge plus in what you have gained since you stepped away from the bottle.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned it. Yep.
Yeah, it's that
the awareness.
Awareness, being mindful of other people's emotions and understanding how you've been absent for a while out of their lives. So that's
exactly.
Again, we can sit here and chat forever about the negatives of what I was doing, what you were doing, what RJ was doing, but there's so much beauty in the process once you put the bottle down and you realize that you have to learn so much more about yourself. So what is something that you have learned about yourself since you've been sober? Because now you don't have a drug to drug out those emotions or anything like that. You have to face the music.
Right. I've realized that I am somebody that people enjoy. Like I have, you guys talked about accountability, and I'm huge on that too. You got to be accountable. So when I committed to, it was probably in the middle of my psychosis, I started a sobriety focused astrology page. And I've built that to 15,000 people now all around the world.
Nice.
I hijacked it though, and I changed it to Carried Away instead of, just because the focus on the sobriety, I don't know, well, like you said before, is recovery, not so much sobriety, and I don't know, I'm just trying to change things up or something. I don't know. I've lost a lot of followers since I did that too, bogus people.
Yeah. Oh gosh, RJ and I can share a lot about that when it comes to it's. We try not to pay too much attention to the numbers and all of that stuff because
exactly. Yeah.
The goal is,
and not only that, it's a very, very, very small percentage when I'm talking about almost 16,000 anyway.
Of course. Yeah. It's about spreading positivity, sharing some raw stories, some real life tangible stories that most people can relate to. Everybody is recovering from something. That's just what it is.
So I've been pimping this podcast on my page too. So hopefully you'll get some of that traffic.
Thank you.
Yes.
We have seen that, and we really appreciate it. We've seen how excited you were, and it just made us even more excited. Like one thing that I love about our community is how people will message us that they're inspired and let us know their story, or like we've gotten emails, messages, and then they're surprised when we message back and we tell them that, we really appreciate your story and you inspired us. And like just that circle that you can get on, that everybody just helps each other. Like I've noticed since we talked to Nikki, the sober lady from Britain.
Yeah, over in England.
And like we jumped both feet into the deep end, into that community, and just like how everybody's helping to uplift everybody. And there's not one right way to be in recovery. There's not, there's no way that's wrong. There's so many different ways of doing things. That's, I think the biggest thing that we bring is we've all done that stuff. So we're not judgmental. We're like, come here, let me give you a hug. Like, I've been there. I'm sorry that you had to go through that too.
Right.
That's how the community feels. That's what we want to give to everybody else. Like,
absolutely.
You make a mistake. If you're not living, you're not going to make mistakes. Like that's the only way you're not going to make mistakes is if you're not living. So, that's the vibe that we're trying to put out there. And so, we really appreciate what you've been doing, because it was a lot of fun to watch. And then you were in on our stream on Thursday night. Very obvious you're a Wisconsin sports fan. I mean, I know my stuff. Pulling out the dates and the exact plays and stuff. This is gonna be fun.
I got a plot twist though.
Okay.
I'm actually a Bears fan.
I thought you were gonna say that when you said you were from Beloit and you're like, I got a plot twist. I thought that you were gonna go there. Okay.
My husband is a huge Packer fan though. Like if you walk through my house, it's like oh my God, it's Badgers and Packers.
That's because if you're a Bears fan, you can kind of hide it a little bit, but if you're a Packers fan, you're religious. There's no hiding it.
It's true that. It's great though.
Yeah, you being a Bears fan doesn't bother me. I grew up a Broncos fan, but that's
really. And then you got drafted by them. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I got a picture when I was 8 years old wearing the Broncos jersey, so that doesn't affect me. But we got a Packers fan in here, so he's silently salty right now.
Who?
You
get to be a Bears fan. I mean, I'm just,
but
I'm not saying I like your husband more. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm joking.
You know what's funny though is I dissociated in that moment, the 4th and 8. I dissociated so hard I don't remember it.
Wow.
I was stone cold sober.
That is crazy. I've had those moments too.
You talking about Randall Cobb?
That's
That's
unreal. That's how big of a fan you are.
Yeah, like I watched the whole game separate from Steve. But so I watched the whole game and the Bears are winning. And then I remember that they lost. And then a couple days later, Steve and I are sitting out here and he's like, they say 4th and 8's going to be such a major thing in history. What's that?
No, sorry. I'm trying to focus my camera.
Oh, I thought he was trying to do something too, and then
to show me something. Yeah.
You gotta keep going. I'm trying to focus
talking crap. Yeah. So he's like, they say 4th and 8's going to be such a strong play in history or whatever, and I look over at him like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
And he's like, that play, and I'm just like, oh, that's how they lost.
I mean, it's before we I love the sport talk, of course, but there's before we wrap up your story and everything, I guess it's time to ask you,
sure,
what how long you may have touched on this, how long have you been sober? In
2017.
2017. What has it been like? What has it been like since, for the last, what is that, 4 years?
Almost 4 years.
Yeah. So what has it been like these last 4 years compared to the last, you stated 25, right? I think.
I started binging when I was 31.
Okay.
So yeah. 2008. So from 2008 until 2016,
okay,
I was binging. And then I had my relapse in 2017.
All right. So what has it been like for you since?
Now it's great, but it was a very, very hard transition because that again was my identity. What's my identity without alcohol now?
Mm.
That was a major identity crisis. What's my life without alcohol going to be? And yeah, it was so hard until I got on some anxiety medicine.
Okay.
I'm doing much better since that. But yeah, and then I had that's one part why I had my relapse is because my medicine ran out and I didn't know what to do. So I didn't do anything and then I relapsed.
Right. Yeah,
But it's been peaceful and I've been more intentional, a lot more intentional. Like I said, about my cats, and just about anybody in my life. I try to be more focused in the moment. And, because I realize I can't beat myself up over all that stuff that happened. And I realize I can't let myself go too far forward either, what's going to happen, because, so I just try to stay focused.
Yeah.
And intentionally enjoy my time with my friends or my husband or whatever. But yeah, that was, and I got triggered on social media and oh my God, I had some episode of psychosis. Some jerk, because it was it was a news article about what was it? Something about Christmas party. It was in the wake of the Harvey Weinstein when all that came out, and the Me Too.
Okay.
And, in the news prompted a question on social media, what can be done, with holiday parties in the wake of the Me Too movement, office parties. And I said something like, how about don't drink? Just being a smart, right. Smarty pants.
Yeah. I mean, that would keep people's boundaries up, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the problem with drinking is that you lose boundaries and everything else. Yeah. So, I mean, you got some truth there. It's just a matter of it's so ingrained in America that we're probably not going to get past that.
Right.
While we're alive,
so some jerk came to my personal page and found some meme that I posted about how I can't drink and how it can be awkward at home. The party's at my house, but I'm trying to leave to get away from the alcohol.
Yeah.
That's what the meme was about. And so some dude went to my personal page and saw that. And then he commented, well, you can't drink. Oh my God. That triggered me so hard. And so then that led to me realizing that I'm post-traumatic. So that is a very good thing that did come out of it.
And again, I know that my question may have been a little repetitive there, but because you did mention the authenticity is what
that's all right.
Have noticed.
Clarity's good.
Stopped, but I'm glad that you touched on that a little more because that's some pretty cool stuff right there, Carrie. There really is.
Yay. Let's see. I got another thing I relate to you, Monte, is you said if you could go back to a former point, to younger Monte, you said 2011, you would say it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
Me too, because that was right after I moved here. And they used to call me Mrs. Ball at my work because I love the Badgers so much.
That's pretty cool. So are you saying it was the same year you would go back to, just like mine? That same year of 2011?
Yeah.
Small world, geez. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a lot of parallels between our journey.
Yeah, 2011 was a rough year for me off the field.
Yeah. Yes. So my question for you
please shoot. Yeah.
is how much did separation anxiety filter into your drinking? Because you were from St. Louis area, then you had to go to Madison to go to school.
Yeah,
did that filter into it?
Honestly, so I was very fortunate to have my parents and my sisters move up to Wisconsin my freshman year.
That's great.
Yeah, we're a very close family. To some,
oh, you are.
To some looking on the outside, that being RJ when he first started dating my sister. It could be a little weird. It could be a little weird how close our family is, but we're like, whatever.
I wouldn't say it's weird. I wouldn't use weird as a term.
I don't care if we know it's a little not.
It's
normal
not. It's not that weird.
Together.
I would say
it's not right. It's ideal. I'd say it's ideal. Shit.
Yeah, but a lot for me. No, you're fine.
You're
A lot
okay.
for me was just the pressure. Once my family got me
Absolutely. Oh my
decision,
God. Yeah, I can't
then I was
imagine.
just like, okay, now I'm all in football. I gotta succeed. Or they made that move. They quit their jobs. They did XYZ for nothing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I gotta succeed. I gotta succeed. I gotta succeed. And then so again, I don't. It's not my parents' fault at all. It's a decision we all made.
Yeah. So you
But
didn't have as much of the separation anxiety like I did.
no, mine was just a significant amount of pressure at a very young age.
Absolutely.
That ratcheted up my anxiety. Well, more times than not, what goes hand in hand with anxiety is that depression. And
Yeah.
then depression, alcoholism is a slippery slope. You're
Absolutely.
depressed,
They
then
go together.
you drink more, you get more depressed. And I was stuck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was stuck. But
Yeah.
again, this ain't about me. This is
Well, I
about
still wanted to, I still wanted to know, like, how deep do our parallels run?
it was a great
I got my
question, man.
notes over here.
Yeah.
Playing catch up while drinking. You mentioned that too. How your classmates would be drinking all week, but you can't so much,
Oh,
and then you got to catch up to their level on the weekend. Go
and
0 to 60 as fast as possible. I relate to
mm,
that too, being the server and the bartender. I can't drink so much on shift, but I get off of work and I gotta
Yeah,
do
catch up
that.
to everybody. Yep.
Yep, yep,
I've been
Andre
there.
can probably
I've been
relate to
there.
that too. Yeah. Yeah, it's that trying to catch
yep.
up. We couldn't drink obviously with the students through the week because we're practicing, and then obviously we have the game on
Yes.
Saturday. But after the game, I tried to
Game
catch up.
on.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right.
What about you, RJ?
Oh man, I'd get home from my shifts. We'd throw house parties Thursday through Saturday nights, and I'd get back. Some nights, especially around holiday time, it was like 11:30 midnight. Well, everybody else has been drinking for 5-6 hours, so guess I got to get that 5-6 hours in 5-6 minutes. So line those shots up,
Exactly.
baby.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Shots. Oh my God. That's
That's
still, I mean, it's getting better now. This year has really been getting better as far as my attitude towards alcohol. But for the longest time, like I couldn't enjoy even going out to eat with my husband because everybody else has a mixed drink or a martini or a glass of wine or a beer. Or, I go to the bar with friends, maybe half of my table's not drinking, but I look over at the bar and there's people doing shots.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, no, get me out of here.
If you smell like a beer that goes past, would you
Yeah.
you get that craving still? Like no matter what the beer is, do you feel it a little bit?
Actually, last night I had a good test because my neighbor wanted to learn how to make mojitos. So she got all the ingredients to make a mojito and I did it. Yay.
Congratulations.
And I didn't feel, I know, right? Yay. No, no, but I didn't feel the only time I felt anything was when I was cutting the lime because that was such a part of my job. So the whole smelling the rum didn't bother me. Like the making the drink, all that didn't bother me. The only thing that bothered me was cutting that fruit.
Okay.
But it's because I'm feeling the pressure. I feel, I don't have to work, obviously I haven't for 5 years now, or 4 years, whatever. No, it's been 5. 2016, I lost my last job. But so I haven't worked since then, but I feel pressure to because like I want to buy things for myself.
Yeah.
My husband doesn't mind if I do a little bit here and there, but obviously I can't go, So I feel pressure to make my own money, especially now that I re-upped my business license.
there you go.
I do have my own LLC. It's called By the Indigo Moon LLC. That was my original blog title, but now, I'm going with the Carried Away. So my WordPress is still By the Indigo Moon. So I started the page to go along with it, and then I started the business. Dang, I left my bracelets inside. I meant to show you, but I have one. This is what my business is intended for, is to make gemstone bracelets.
All right.
This one is rhodochrosite with lepidolite, and it's intended for helping you heal emotionally, heart issues or
Oh,
whatever.
wow.
It's got the green too, a little green aventurine, because green and pink are for heart chakra.
Okay.
So this is intended to help emotional. And yeah, I make all different kinds. I have all different colors, all different intentions. I made fertility bracelet for somebody before. You know, it's different things.
No, that's
But
all cool
also,
stuff. Like I said, the floor is
thank,
yours. We're here to learn about
thank you.
Carrie, and that's some pretty cool stuff. I wanted you to touch on that hat though. You went and grabbed that hat, and you wanted it to be in your shot, in the shot.
Yeah,
So let's share a little bit more about that, because obviously that's a very powerful quote.
not all who wander are lost. It's a trip because I live in the city, but my subdivision it's like in the woods, and there's trails and stuff, and it's really great. And so one time me and Jessica are walking, and some little kid wrote in chalk this quote on the bridge. And so, it's like right after I moved in here, and I'm just like, whoa. And then that quote kept following me. Like I kept seeing it on Facebook, and I kept seeing it everywhere. And I'm just like, whoa, I need to, you know. So I saw this hat in Florida on vacation. I'm like, I gotta get it.
Yeah.
Calling out to you. Calling out to you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing little coincidences like that happen that you
Right?
just notice.
hmm
It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my card, a good friend is like a 4-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have.
Very true. The older you get, you really start to realize that.
Mhm.
Good
My
friends are
friend gave me
super
that at
rare.
my birthday one time. So I put it up.
Yes. But again, this is all
Yeah.
good stuff that there's so much abundance here, just in abundance of good stuff
hmm
here, just about what you have gained since you
hmm
decided that alcohol cannot go with you. So this might be a tough question. Sorry,
Sure.
RJ, I'm
It-
kind of hogging the mic.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll speak
What
up.
what
Yeah.
there was one thing that you could share with somebody who may be suffering right now in silence. What would that be?
Coming
I
with
know
the
it's hard.
hard hitting
It, it,
questions today.
it is. Well, this is hard because um, I'm trying to think like what would get into me, what would
Yep.
get to me. And I'm extremely like, I don't know if I'm autistic with oppositional defiance or what. I'm going to be tested for that soon. But yeah, it's hard. It really is,
Yeah, I
because
think
I don't know what would have gotten to me other than having this life experience.
Mm,
But tough times don't last. Hang in there.
right.
Don't be afraid to reach out
It's a
to
big one.
somebody, anybody. It only takes the right conversation with one person, really.
Absolutely. It's right place, right time. Kind of like
Yeah.
some luck. Luck is involved a little
hmm
bit when you get into substance dependency, like we had. Obviously, we were trying to hide our emotions. I think we've all been very open about that, and
hmm
yeah, that was tough for me as well. So
Yeah, it's not an easy journey. It's not.
It's not.
Because here's the thing. It's not. I mean, and again, RJ and I, we keep it raw here on this show.
hmm
It's there's more times than I'm embarrassed to admit where I was like, you know what, maybe I can have a sip. Who's gonna know?
Right.
Who's gonna know?
Right.
Who's gonna
hmm
know? But I don't know um what it is that always just told me not to do it. Obviously, a big part of
Good.
it is my son. But
Yeah.
it's still that alcoholism is a monster. So what are some of the
mm,
what are some of your techniques, your ways of when those thoughts come in, when if they're withdrawals or what have you? Now you can't use alcohol, so how do you
Right.
defend yourself from its when it calls out to you?
M- Music. Music is, oh my God. Yeah.
I'm
Music.
right there with you.
And I binge on The Blacklist. That's the only TV show I watch. Well,
What's his relation to her? Somebody tell me.
right. I know, right? Oh my God. Oh God. Yeah. Oh my God.
Music. What kind of music?
It's almost everything. I don't so much like classic rock just because I was not exposed to current music until I discovered it on my own. I was like 8 years old. So all I knew before that was like Elvis Presley and Beach Boys and Oak Ridge Boys and, you know, the Radar Love and all the classic rock that my uncle listened to. And so I don't like that, but I love EDM and death metal.
All right.
And Latin music. I speak Spanish, almost fluent.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. It's funny. A lot of people who, but are just.
I was just saying that's amazing. That's a fantastic skill to have and cultivate.
Oh my God, yeah. I made up my mind. I was like 10 years old. I made up my mind. I wanted to not have a problem, and now I don't have a problem communicating, and it saved my life.
That's
a few times.
Yes, that is important. The death metal.
Yeah.
It's so common. Many people who get into recovery, it's that metal. It's that, I think it's like a stress reliever. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When you're in your car and you just to the music, and then when you
the drums. Oh my God. The drums.
Yeah.
I play drums too a little bit. So yeah, I love it.
You're a jack of all trades, or Jane of all trades.
1 second, my TV turned on.
No, go ahead.
Oh,
yeah. I told you we're raw here, but
yeah,
that's really, really cool, Carrie. And I think honestly, that name, that's pretty cool. So let's hear a little bit about this screenwriting that you're thinking about doing, or writing a movie or what have you.
Yes.
Carried Away is an awesome name.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. So yeah, I think I want to start it when my house caught fire. I was 22 and my ex-boyfriend came pick me up from work, and my house caught fire, or it had been on fire and put itself out because it was wintertime. So the house was all sealed up. So it didn't have no more oxygen to breathe. So it put itself out, but still the house was uninhabitable. So that was horrible, especially considering 2 days before I was having a conversation with my ex's cousin, and we were talking like about God and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if I should stay with my ex, you know, and he's like, just start praying and don't stop. And then 2 days later, my house caught fire. But what did I do? I stayed with him. I took it as a sign that we need to tighten up and be together. Instead, that was a perfect break, but stupid me. But anyway, so I think that's why I want to start it. And then we made a lot of bad decisions with marijuana and other drugs. We had a whole summer of running drugs from Texas to Wisconsin. And we did get in trouble. We did get convicted, felony. I'm a drug felon. Hopefully someday I can get that taken care of so I can get a gun to protect myself. But anyway, so yeah, it was a whole crazy adventure in the summer because we were dealing with an American guy, but he was a middleman to one of the Mexican cartels.
Yeah.
So that was, you know, there was cartel involvement, and yeah, that's why I say I want to see it on the big screen, because there's so many things that happen that are just like, whoa. And like, I saw a crime scene. I didn't see the crime. But what I saw is like, they did not put primer over the wall before they painted it. So the blood spot was still visible.
Wow.
That kind of thing. That would just be cool to see on the screen. But what I did not talk about in my last podcast, because I talked about all of that in a podcast I did with Tom Nicomas called 1041 podcast.
Okay.
I went in depth about the case, about running drugs and stuff. But I did not talk about going to Mexico, because my ex put a gun to my head and told me I had to go to Mexico with him to try to avoid these charges. So I went to Mexico with him. And so that was a huge eye-opening experience on a lot of levels, because like, we take for granted the interstates here. Like, you jump on I-90, you know, drive down to Chicago and it's good, or you can drive all the way out west and, you know, you can expect the road to be consistently nice, like not too many potholes or whatever on the interstate. But in Mexico, it's a whole different story. Like I took the federal highway all the way to Cancun, and oh, there's spots because they ask for the money from the federal government. They have 31 states. It's United States of Mexico, like we're United States of America. Mm-hmm. They got 31 states. So they appeal or apply to the federal government for their money for roads and all that. And then they go state by state. So like the poorest states have the worst roads. And oh my God, I ended up blowing out my transmission because I was slowing down and speeding up in between the potholes and the speed bumps because they wouldn't have the highway go around the town. You go through the town and the speed bumps. So I blew out my transmission. And that's why I say Spanish helped me, is because I was able to communicate to the guy at the Ford dealership that my transmission is broke. And so then we were there for 3 weeks waiting for parts to come from the United States. So yeah, that was in the middle of Mexico. So yeah, Spanish was good. And I learned very rapidly. And then moving to Cancun, I was there for 5 months. I was a shot girl. That was awesome. Oh man, that was a whole different binging experience. But yeah, that was different. That was intentional just to piss off my ex. That's what that was all about. It wasn't like losing myself in the bottle like it was the second time.
Yeah.
But the last night we were in Mexico, though, I want to tell you guys about that. Oh my goodness. It was Christmas and we knew it was our last night. So we were driving around getting pictures and whatever. And we went back to the hotel to smoke a little stuff. And then we were going to go back out, but we were drunk. And then we were drunk and high. And my friend crashed our car. Not really crash. It was just really superficial. Like he just didn't stop in time and it hardly tapped. And it was a taxi. The taxi drivers run Cancun. Oh, that like they got the whole little cartel and they will shut down the hotel zone entrance. The taxi drivers will in their protests. I've seen it happen myself and I know it still happens. So anyway, the taxi, he agreed that $50 American would cover this damage. And so the cop that had came, he was like, all right, you guys agree? Okay, see ya. But then the guy changed his mind and said, no, I want $200. But we didn't have it. And it's Christmas, so there's no Western Union. I'm sorry. And he's like, come with us and we'll figure it out. So we went, followed him into the hood of all places. Imagine that. And so we pull up behind the taxi and then another one comes behind us and then another one comes next to us. So we're completely blocked in. And these Mexicans are trying to get the keys and trying to, they're punching my ex and everything. I'm in the back seat and I'm just like, whoa, dude. I sobered up and I'm just like, whoa. So eventually my ex is like, screw this, Mike. He pushed it backwards, pushed forward, reverse to push out of the way. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he got clear, he went, but it was a dead end. So we had to turn around and come back at these Mexicans who had grabbed cinder blocks. And now they're throwing cinder blocks at our car. So we get out of there. Luckily, that's another thing is my sense of direction and my map skills are so on point. I knew how to get us out of there. So then we're stopped at a light and then there's a tow truck and an ambulance and cops. And the Mexicans showed up, the taxi drivers, and they all went away. The cops left us for dead in the hands of these Mexicans, is the point. Oh my God. That's what, and that's what I want to show in the movie too.
No, I appreciate you sharing that because alcohol, again, drugs can take you and can give you some unfortunate experiences that you never want to relive again.
Mm-hmm. I was left for dead in the hands of the cartel in Mexico by the cop.
I think that's a powerful reminder to
be aware.
Be aware and to stay away from all that stuff. So my final question, and then if RJ has any more. So what occupies Carrie's time now? What's your
the blacklist?
Back to it.
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee show?
I'm obsessed with Pat McAfee show. Oh my God, yeah.
Good show.
And music, like I said, I
very
spent
charismatic. He like when he did, obviously he did that Packer Lions game, and I was like, okay, this stinks because the Packers got smoked, and it was like I was like, I don't know if I like this guy, but then that's just his personality, right? It wasn't like he was reveling in the Packers getting smoked, and yeah, like I've enjoyed everything he's done.
He's all about the brand, though, for the brand,
right?
I was watching them highlights again the other day because Prater did some fake punt or something. Oh my God,
I was fake field goal and he scored a touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Prater. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yep. He was the kicker when I was in Denver with us.
Oh.
How many times did you go out with him? You don't have to answer that. I'm sorry.
No.
That was uncouth. No. That was an uncouth.
No,
question.
I went out with a lot of the guys, and Prater may or may not have been there with us, but no, I think it's a good question. I told you, man, we keep it raw on the show, but yeah. So I, RJ, you got anything? I mean, transition.
Your story is like you're talking about the blacklist. It's like that. You know, you've lived some moments that would, fit on that show.
Blacklist worthy, absolutely, and that's why it was so hard. I don't watch a lot of TV because there is so much triggering content. Steve's watched it from the beginning. Imagine. I actually didn't get into it till season 6.
Oh wow!
Because just because there's so much trigger. Yeah, and I dissociated when I would watch it with Steve. I dissociated so hard. I didn't realize Liz was pregnant at that wedding when they shot up the church. Like, I remember that episode.
Spoiler.
That was season 3. That was so long ago. We're in season 8 now. But yeah, she's very pregnant, and I didn't even realize.
Wow.
Like, I dissociated, and I went back and watched it again. I was like, no kidding. But yeah, so and I spend time with my neighbors across the street. We're like roommates that live across the street from each other. That's what we say in the face of COVID, because remember, we're not supposed to hang out with other houses. But yeah, so
it's been a tough time. Let's put it that way, especially for us in the recovery community. Like, for some people, it has been nice because you've been able to insulate yourself. You've been able to, you're isolated, not by choice, by, trying to keep everybody safe and yourself safe.
Right.
But I think to a lot of us, it put a lot of stress on us. Like, I was very lucky. I got to go out to work every day. Like, electricity still has to flow. We have to do our job to keep that happening. And, that's a lot of people didn't have that. And even at my company, I was talking to someone who they go out to walk their dog every day, and that's the only time they get out of their house for basically an entire year. They've gotten out twice almost. It's like, that is it. It's a very tough time for us in the recovery community. So the fact that you have your neighbors to be able to help, keep you connected with the world, that's huge. That's amazing. We need that. We need that. We need that connection. So, have you noticed that since you've gone into recovery, your sweet tooth has gotten
that's my replacement.
Heavier.
Instead of taking shots, I take snacks.
Oh yeah. We've been talking about this, and I forgot to ask Nikki, but she's been talking about it on Twitter recently. And I had like a candy bar once a month, and then I got sober, and it's like almost every day. I have to consciously stop myself from doing it.
Right.
One thing I've been doing, actually, I do it even when I don't have any issues, is cough drops. Like, just cough drops, it helps quench that sweet tooth.
Interesting.
And it's not like, not a lot of calories in that. I know you're not supposed to eat cough drops like that, but too bad.
Make sure we're not abusing cough drops.
Hey, I grew up that way. The Ludens, right?
Yeah.
There is some medicinal properties in that. But no, I hear you. It's, for me, once I stop drinking, I put on weight. I always tell people, if you ever see me just immediately just lose a bunch of weight, then that means I'm using again. Because when I'm drinking, I wouldn't eat. Now,
yep.
I cannot stop eating sugar. Like, I'm like, oh gosh, it's
bad.
Yeah, it's rough.
Ice cream, pie, you know, get it all to me.
Yeah.
Somebody said on Twitter, you know, let people know you're an alcoholic without saying you're an alcoholic. And I said, I have 3 desserts after every meal.
Yeah, seriously.
Right.
Seriously. And I do have at least one after every meal.
It's
a little bite of chocolate or something.
Right. Yeah. Every time I'll just be sitting down here and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need something sweet. And it's like, it's not like, you know, it's something you want. It's like, it's that craving that you have to get it. It's just like gnawing at you the entire time. Might be some ADHD that happens too, but you know, just do something different.
What's that, squirrel?
Yeah. But Carrie, we are at the top of the hour. We are now
right on.
I have nothing more. RJ, do you?
We really appreciate you sharing your story and being so open with us. And like Mon stated before, we both echo, like, Carried Away is a fantastic title. And
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being so real with us and telling your story, inspiring others that it can be done.
Absolutely.
It can happen. And that's RJ summed it up perfectly. Yeah, this is great for us, great for our listeners as well. Obviously great for yourself to put it out there, hear yourself say it. So it brings more value to it, more truth to it. It brings that accountability as well once you're sharing it with others. So we really appreciate all of this, and I'm sure our listeners do as well, because we're providing hope.
Yes, I do have one little bit of advice. I'm sure Nikki would echo it too, the sober lady on Twitter, but because she, you know, she's posting heavy, and you know, that's fabulous, but it's also keeping her accountable. And that's, you know, like I said, that's when I started my now titled Carried Away Facebook page. I was a sober astrologer as a way of being accountable, because how can I be the sober astrologer if I'm not sober, if I'm drinking? So don't be afraid to start some kind of a social media page or profile as a means of keeping yourself accountable, especially because meetings aren't for everybody. Like, I won't go to meetings or whatever. Been there, done that. It don't work out.
Same.
For me personally. So starting the Facebook page is me being accountable to the world.
Love it.
So I just wanted to
finding that hobby. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is that's you know, you end up having so much more time and eventually you have more energy that you need to put it into work somewhere. So finding those new hobbies that you haven't tried before is awesome.
Absolutely.
And you going into astrology and then marrying that with sobriety, like, that's really creative. Like, I don't know if anybody's told you that before, but that's really creative. So
thank you.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
You're getting a lot of positive feedback in our chat right now.
Yay!
Yes. Captain Corey says, thank you for sharing. We got Susie Q 4709 saying, Carrie, you are fantastic. And Dan the Man says, thanks for sharing your story. So
thank you, everybody. Thank you.
AWSM Unk. Awesome Unk. Nice name. Awesome Unk says, glad you are alive. Glad you are alive, and best podcast on Twitch. Really appreciate that.
That is awesome.
No, but honestly, I mean, we would not get that feedback if it weren't for your honesty and your willingness to just open up and be real with us. That's the best thing about the recovery world. People like yourself. It's like, hey, I'm going to give it to you raw. This is what it is. This is who I am. You're either going to like it or leave. And 95% of the time, probably 100% of the time, people in the recovery world, no judgment, and you're going to be welcomed. So we really appreciate you joining us.
I appreciate you guys. This has been amazing.
This will not be the last time.
This will not be the last time. Expect another invite. So, you know,
yes,
it's
anytime.
been such a pleasure talking to you. I think we could talk for hours. Like
I know. I could. Anytime my Sundays are open. So.
It's good to know.
Fantastic.
And my Thursday nights too.
When football season comes back around, we'll take you up on that when we get to some NCAA action. So
right. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Fantastic. Well, we'll start wrapping this up. Thank you everybody for tuning in on Twitch. Captain Corey, Awesome Unk, Susie Q, all of the new listeners, Dan the man for always tuning in. We love to see you. We love listening to everybody. Hit us up on Untapped Keg, all social media platforms. You can find this as a podcast, and then we also have YouTube. You can find Carrie on Twitter at carried_a_way, correct?
Yeah.
Is there anywhere else that people can find you?
I have another Twitter and my Instagram, and all my socials mostly are Carrie 738315. That's my last name upside down on a calculator. Siebel.
Look,
my husband figured that out.
So creative.
My husband did that.
You see me turning my head. I'm trying to see it right now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Wow.
That's your Twitch username, isn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Oh my God.
That's pretty cool stuff.
That is fantastic. So I will get that written down and we will put that in the description so people can find you.
Sweet.
Hit up Carrie because she's awesome. She's got awesome content that she shares. I appreciate you when you tagged us on the blogs. I read those, and that's a great way to get some of that energy out as well. But so we appreciate everybody tuning in. Like we said, find us and let's try to be better tomorrow than we were today. Because at least if we don't make it, we tried.
Indeed. Real quick before we go, RJ, I just want to say thank you to Captain Corey 76. I really, really appreciate what you stated, Captain Corey. Thank you for being a fan, and Awesome Unk. I really, really appreciate that as well. Thank you guys. It means a lot to me.
Hey, everybody, you have a good week. Thank you very much.
Also, thank you, everybody. Thank you.